Well, it's another hello and welcome back to all my vintage dirt bike loving YouTubers, and as usual, a big thank you for making this one of the top channels on YouTube with regards to twin shock and classic dirt bikes. Now, as you know, I always scour the countryside relentlessly to bring you the very best in classic and vintage motocross machines, and in this particular video I think we've found another gem. So just stay with me for the next few minutes as we take a look at a superb TC570 Husqvarna from HVA Factory, the vintage Husky specialists. Now, this bike is yet another of the very nice machines that I recently spotted at the Telford Classic Dirt Bike Show. Now, this featured bike is loosely based around the old 1983 510 Husqvarna, although in this bike's particular case it has some very nice upgrades fitted to enhance what was already a quite powerful machine for that period. Now, many of the trick parts used in its construction were supplied and fitted by Andy Elliott, who of course is the owner of HVA Factory, the Husqvarna vintage parts supplier. Now, Andy Elliott at HVA Factory has just about every part you would require to sort out or upgrade your old classic Husky Twinshocker, although he tends to specialise in these 1982 to 1984 Husqvarna models and claims to have just about everything for these bikes from stock. Now, these very formidable looking Husky 4-stroke motors are based around the old 510 engine, but as you would expect in this particular case, this motor has been now bored out to 570cc for that little bit more extra grunt. Now, many of these early 4-stroke Husky lumps used 2-stroke bottom ends, although I'm not in possession of a full list of all the mods and trick upgrades that were done to this bike's particular motor, but I think it would be suffice to say that it was quite extensive. Now, a big single cylinder, of course, with that unique twin exhaust port in the cylinder head. Now, even in its standard trim, these 500cc engines were powerful enough, although when you factor in the improvements and upgrades to this particular engine, then you're looking at a serious bit of kit. Now, as you would expect, these bikes are not the lightest with that big 4-stroke Husky motor in the frame, although if it's out and out raw power you're looking for, then these 4-stroke Husky motors had horsepower in absolute bucket loads. Although the list of upgrade parts on this bike is quite extensive, including these upgraded foot pegs and that very nice HVA Factory alloy foot brake. But mind you, if you like your twin shock motocrossers to be big, bad and with loads of grunt, then look no further. This is most definitely the bike for you. But of course it takes a very special pilot to tame one of these big Huskies, and you need a big pair of cojones to get to grips with one of these 4-stroke beasties. Now, this bike appears to have conventional forks, although they do look much stronger and beefier than the original 1983 parts. But then again, these are going to have to stand up to some serious punishment, because this is still essentially quite a heavy machine with that big 570 motor in the frame. Now, of course, the bike has upgraded brake hubs on the front and rear, and I think these were supplied by the Talon engineering boys, who produced some fantastic pieces of kit for these old twin shock motocrossers. Now, these rear shocks are certainly a new name to me when it comes to twin shock suspension suppliers, and up until now I'd never had any knowledge of this actual company. But nevertheless, these piggyback shocks are manufactured by Wilbur Suspensions from Halesowen in the West Midlands of the UK. Now apparently Wilbur makes suspension systems for all manner of road-going and off-road motorcycles, and they also give customers a full 5-year guarantee with these products, so they must be a very decent quality set of rear shocks. Now, as you know, these big 4-banger Husky motors normally come with a twin-port exhaust system, which would basically have a pipe that ran down either side of the machine with 2 tailpipes coming out of the rear just under the back mudguard of the machine. Although HVA Factory now build an upgraded version of this system whereby you still have these twin exhausts emitting from the cylinder head, but then leading into this very nice single tailpipe. Now in my opinion, a much nicer looking improvement, and of course it once again shaves precious weight off of this motorcycle. Now on the day of the show, this bike had already been earmarked for Ross Sturmey, who I presume is going to be the chosen pilot for this superb machine in 2020. In the bike's controls department, the machine looks to be fitted with these rental bars, cables, grips, and these very nice rental covers over what looks like a pair of these high quality unbreakable levers. Although at the end of the day this is still a truly awesome piece of kit, and let's face it, who wouldn't want to throw their leg over this little beauty and tear down the track and do a few laps on it. Okay, it's not an original bike, but really who cares? It was never meant to be an original restoration of an old 1983 bike, but it just goes to show what you can do with a few trick parts to improve upon what was already a very decent 4-banger crosser from back in the day. But then again, this is just another of the very nice machines that the HVA Factory boys turn out on a regular basis. But of course, don't take it from me, just visit their website at this address and you will find all the information and the parts that HVA Factory supply for your twin-shock Husky. Now, I already have many more of these kind of machines in the pipeline and soon to be aired here on my Classic Dirt Bike TV channel, so if you like what you see and these are the kind of old style motocrossers that interest you, then I hope you will subscribe to my channel. But once again, thanks for taking the time to watch my videos, and until the next time, be safe riding those old dirt bikes, and we'll speak again very soon. This video was brought to you in association with WorldSport, the world's #1 supplier for all your off-road and leisure sportswear. Just visit their online website for more information.